So I titled this video, How Astrology Can Help You Understand Your Sexuality, because y'all, shamelessly sexy secret here. People don't actually realize that astrology is a tool that can be used for so many things out there, including how to really understand your sexuality specifically. I know there's a lot of books, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of information on different types of sexualities, gender, and relationships, and all these different types of kinks and fetishes and more, y'all. But this shameless secret here, if you really want to know, that is not tailored to you. And a lot of people want to know, why is this my sexuality? Why do I like this as a turn on? Why this, why that, whatever, just to have some sort of sexual validation in regards of their sexuality. And also affirmation, because there's a difference between affirming one's sexuality and accepting it, y'all. So what up? I am Shamelessly Sexy Jackie here. I'm a certified sex therapist turned sexual confidence coach. I make videos about astrology and tarot and psychic channel download messages. I am a medium as well here too. I'm going to drop my information in the chat below here in order to share with all of you how to make sure you stay in store in regards in regards of what I have in regards of offerings in the future and all the damn things. So don't know why the chat is not working on my end here, but stayshameless.com is my website. I do have readings that are closed during this time, but if you want to be getting into the sexuality and secrets of astrology overall, then definitely go there, sign up for the newsletter. No, I do not spam you, everything like that. Hello, I'm Gray. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you're doing well here. But I want to talk about this a little bit, Shameless Squad. So astrology, your natal birth chart, is such a beautiful tool to understand your sexuality. And a lot of people think it's just their sun sign, or a lot of people think it's just their Venus sign, and a lot of people think, oh, it's just my, Mars sign here in regards to sex and sexuality. And as simplistic and as easy that might sound, you really have to look at a lot of different things here. So we're going to talk about this. You really have to look at, all the planets here, right? Because the planets will show us what is specifically happening here overall. And that's only a part of this. So I use 12 house, whole house system, tropical astrology, everything like that. I know that a lot of people use Vedic or different types and whatever, and that's cool. You do you. For my personal brain, it just makes sense for me, y'all. So when it comes to the planets specifically in astrology, they show us what is happening in particular in regards to your birth chart. And depending on if there's any outer planets, that can also show us what's going on with the themes and narratives around sex, sexuality, love, relationships, intimacy, pleasure, turn-ons, turn-offs as well here. So there's a lot of information deep down overall. Then the signs will show us how it is happening in particular. So the signs are kind of like the actors or actresses in regards of being in that planet, being in that role, being in that setting here, right? And then depending on the 12 houses, that will really show us, where it is happening and give you a little bit more in regards of the script here. And so the best way I can really describe astrology when it comes to sexuality overall is that you have these inner planets that are more obvious here, that people tend to look up more, astrology information in regards to those horoscopes. And this is something where you have to be able to look at what the outer planets are doing here as well. Thank you, Ben, for subscribing. I appreciate you. Hello, 13 in the chat. So you have the inner planets. A lot of people will call these your big five: your sun, your moon, your rising, right? But then Mercury, Mars, Venus here. And this is something where all of those planets can tell you a lot of secrets about your sexuality. Your sun sign, like your ego, your identity here. Your moon sign, emotions, feelings towards people. You have your Mercury, your negative beliefs about sex or limiting beliefs about sex, or even different types of fears. And I've also talked about this too in regards of the Saturn as well can show you a lot of life lessons with planets, but that's an outer planet, but it can relate if it's really close to Mercury in a birth chart. And then you have Mars, which talks about your sexual libido, how you take action, how you move forward, how you initiate sex, if you initiate sex, right? So then there's also Venus, the planet of beauty, love, romance, money, and all these different things here as well. So this is something where your values, and Venus is also about self-esteem here, which can tell us a lot about, depending on what sign it is, your sexual confidence in regards of how you show love, how you receive love, how you give love. Do material possessions get in the way of love? Do you trade, love for money or whatever? giver, anything of that sort. It's like I want to give gifts in order to receive love, things like that as an example here, okay? And your rising sign is your chart ruler, which can really show you how you take action in regards of relationships, sex, sexuality, how you come off to other people as well in love too, and intimacy overall here. I'm going to pause before we talk about the outer planets. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hi, Charlie. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Definitely smash the like button and subscribe. We can definitely be online, friends, everybody. Definitely like this video if you are here for it, y'all. Let's talk about the outer planets, though. They are kind of like, I kind of describe it as with astrology, the inner planets are kind of like the front, planets on stage here. You know what's going on. You know maybe a little bit more about them. You know what's happening in particular. They're like the actors, right? And then how I describe the outer planets specifically is kind of like the background, people behind stage, like moving the curtains here, doing the lights, everything like that when it comes to astrology. But those outer planets, holistically, when we look at a birth chart, can be really important to see if they're next to any of those inner planets, if they are aspecting any of the inner planets. And the aspects really paint the picture of the story. It's like the clear canvas here overall. And so astrology can really be seen as a script of lessons and stories and different types of themes here specifically. So when it comes to the outer planets with sex and sexuality and love and romance and intimacy and pleasure and desires, there are some things that could also be maybe secretive or hidden or mysterious. We look at Pluto for that, right? If there's anything that we might be fearing, or we might have specific relationship patterns and themes and lessons, okay, Daddy Saturn, I see you. That might be there specifically, right? If we're looking into trying something new and we want to be like shock and awe factor here, that might be something related to Uranus overall. If we want to be able to explore, spiritual sex here with this fantasy and maybe sex dreams and different types of things of that sort, well, maybe there's something in regards of Neptune being near those other actors in the mix. And so there's a lot of different things to really be said also about the outer planets here specifically. And that's why it's so important to look at a birth chart holistically. So many of y'all, in my tarot readings here in my lives, sometimes you ask me, oh, my sun sign's this, and I'm interested in that person's sun sign. Are we a good match? And this is BS, y'all. You cannot just base compatibility or love or sex or pleasure or intimacy in astrology based on your sun sign. It doesn't work. And I have some other videos coming towards y'all. Like I have been recording some different things in my shorts and my videos tab here that I'm going to share a little bit more about this. And as people don't check the lives tab, then they can watch my videos tab and like really let this soak in and marinate overall. So you really learn a lot about your sexuality by learning about the planets, but then the 12 houses, right? You want to be able to learn how that has the underlying energy of that particular zodiac sign here, as well as the aspects, because we have harsh aspects and we have harmonious aspects. So if someone in a birth chart naturally has a lot of squares in their birth chart, well, then they're going to have to learn how to navigate those tensions and those life lessons in the sky here, okay? If a lot of people have a lot of trines or sextiles or positive conjunctions here, then that's something where you can really understand a little bit more about, okay, these are flowy aspects. They are good aspects. They're positive energies, right? Then when you have oppositions going like this, that could be something where it could be kind of challenging, like how do we navigate these waters here overall? And so it's really important not only for compatibility to understand this stuff, but it's important for yourself to understand your natal birth chart when it comes to sex and sexuality, as well as gender and romance and pleasure and relationships here overall, prior to even like trying to make your birth chart compatible with someone else's here, because you want to be able to explore your sexuality more and these things that might be hidden beneath the surface here. And we really can look at all the planets holistically when it comes to astrology and sexuality and how that influences pleasure here overall. There's something in regards of my last couple reads that I just wanted to share with you. So I've been using my sexual self-care deck, y'all. For those that don't know, I am a certified sex therapist. I have my own sexual self-care deck on my channel, and I pull cards on sexual energies with tarot and everything like that. So this is my baby that I created. It's got like over 100 cards in the deck here, but the Astro Sex card deck really came out specifically. And so this is something that I just want to read to you. When you receive the Astro Sex card, you may be curious about how you and or your partners or yourself or spouses, astrology and sexuality influence overall intimacy and pleasure. Astro Sex can be used as a tool to understand turn-ons, turn-offs, techniques, foreplay, and more. This is a sign to get astrology or to use astrology as a tool for sex. And so for those of you that don't know, under my videos tab, I have recorded all 12 signs and seasons that you can, use every single year here for date nights, for love, for pleasure, for intimacy, with sex tips too, and sex education a little bit on that sign and on that energy overall here. Okay. So that's something where, it's going to be under my videos tabs. I just did Aquarius. So if you want to be able to learn how to use the energies just right now, even if you don't have Aquarius in your chart, but moving through the seasons, definitely do so. Okay. Shameless squad. Then in regards of that card, it kept popping out in a lot of the readings, y'all. So I just wanted to share that with you because clearly some of you are being called to use astrology as a tool to understand your sexuality, your pleasure, intimacy, sex, and more. And I wanted to bring it back to that today as well, to just kind of share the reads the past couple weeks that has been popping out here more. Okay. Readings are closed with me for one-on-ones for now, but go to stayshameless.com if you want to get on the newsletter to know when they open back up. I would love to be a resource for you, as well as if you want to know the different cool things that I'm doing with my offerings here too, because I don't want you to miss out on any of these things. I do not spam. I'm going to be working on some stuff on the back end here overall. So you might see my reads go under the videos tab here. You might see me go live from time to time talking about this astrology and using astrology to understand your sexuality as a tool and in your relationships too. So Shameless Squad, let me know how you like this video in the comments below. Did anything resonate with you? Do you use astrology as a tool to understand your sexuality, love, romance, pleasure, all the things, babies? Thank you. Make sure to smash the like button. I love you. Stay shameless, boo.